Hey, what's going on, guys? Appreciate you stopping by. I tell you, it just keeps getting interesting, doesn't it? More news coming out of the Middle East. We've had at least one. I heard from another source that there were two ships from Saudi Arabia, one of which may have been a oil tanker that was hit, presumably from the Houthis. And that just ramps up this whole situation. We have Germany that has announced that they are sending some military to the Red Sea, again, presuming that it is to help defend these Saudi Arabian ships because of the threat to the global petroleum market. We have oil that is rising very rapidly. I don't want to say skyrocketing, but it's going up pretty quick. It seems like a couple days ago it was in the 80s, and then it went up in the mid 90s, and now I'm hearing it's right around $100 a barrel, and it's changing so fast. So you can look it up and see exactly where it's at. We've had another night of bombing in Iran and expanded target selections. And another night where Iran is sending missiles over to U.S. assets in a variety of countries and having some success. And it begs the question, when we heard literally weeks ago that the Iran military was completely destroyed, that they had hardly any capability left. What happened? How is it possible that they are sending all of these missiles with accuracy and making these strikes? And you also have to question that over the last couple of years, when there were skirmishes between Israel and Iran, the Iranian responses always seemed really anemic, and it gave the perspective that, yeah, maybe Iran doesn't have the capability that everybody thinks they do. But then you look at now and what's happening, and then you wonder, what is it that we're not being told? I mean, we're being lied to constantly. We don't really know what the truth is. We don't really know what's happening over there. I get on here and I'm sharing my thoughts, some stuff that I'm hearing. We don't really know. It's just like the whole sleeper cell situation. It's something I've been thinking about for the past week. We had an open southern border and had millions and millions of people, military-aged men, crossing the border. And they all did not have good intentions. You look at where the ones that were caught, because many weren't, but many were caught, many were released, and the countries that they came from were not friendly to the United States. How did they get from Iran, for example, to our southern border? I don't think that, they didn't go on a hike. They were transported. I don't believe that the stories that there are sleeper cells from a variety of countries, China, Iran, and other countries, I don't think that's made up. I think it is true. But how loyal are they to where they came from? And how good is the ability for them to be activated and carry out whatever the intentions are? That's really the question. There's been some TV shows that have kind of talked about this type of stuff in a fictional way, and quite frequently these terrorist cells, these terrorists that come over here, they end up getting soft. They get used to the American life. Sometimes they'll meet someone, fall in love, have kids, and then suddenly doing something to themselves in the name of their country and their God doesn't seem so attractive anymore. But that's a danger, isn't it? You think about these sleeper cells and what they could do. The electrical infrastructure here is so open and vulnerable. We've seen attacks on electrical substations and transformers with small arms. That's been going on for a period of time, and it often looked like it was just a test, and maybe it was. I remember there was one in particular. I don't remember the details on that. I'd like to look that up. But they found shell casings that were 7.62 by 39. And if you know anything about some military armament and modern day firearms, 7.62 by 39 is popular among certain types of countries. I'll just throw that out there. So all this going on, we got the stuff going on in the Middle East. We still have Russia, Ukraine, have China poised to possibly go into Taiwan, especially with the U.S. and maybe some of its allies getting very much distracted. Then the possibility of sleeper cells and something going on over here. Who knows? Who knows what could happen? And that's the reason why many of us, myself, probably you, think about some common sense preparedness and just getting ready for what might happen. Might not, but you never know. Think about what if, I don't know that it's worst case, but what if, something were to occur in your area, your region. It could be your region of the country, and the grid were to go down. And for some period of time, weeks, a few days, yeah, it'd be a pain, but that's not catastrophic. But you talk weeks, think about your region, part of your state or your whole entire state. Think about South Carolina, North Carolina, and Virginia. Grid out. Think about that, those three states, and what the impact would be. There would be mass panic. People can't go through their drive-thrus and get their lattes. Everybody's refrigeration would go down. And when I say everybody, I'm not talking about just the houses, but you have grocery stores, lights not working, no communication eventually. I mean, people would absolutely panic. And that's anywhere. Anywhere in the country you had a large region, people would absolutely panic. And I tell you something else. That would happen. Evil would take advantage. That's the other thing that would happen. Not just, some idiots going to loot a store break some windows and take some big screen TVs. I'm talking about evil would take advantage. They would take advantage of those that they perceive as weak and vulnerable. House break-ins, numerous things I'm not even going to mention. That would absolutely happen. So this is the time right now to start preparing. If you haven't. If you already have, good. You're ahead of the curve a little bit. Take a look at where your preps are. Think about, run that scenario through your head and think about what areas maybe you need to improve on. Hopefully, it seems to be that we have some time. What can you do to improve in those areas? If you bought a bunch of pew-pews and all the accessories and all the stuff to feed them, and you're sitting on one can of baked beans, that's probably an area you should improve in, some food storage. So take a look at that. Make a plan. And get going. All right, that's it for today. I appreciate you guys stopping by. Interesting times. Love to hear what you guys think about this. You got any predictions, any thoughts, anything in particular that you're doing to kind of shore things up in your situation? I can tell you, I'll go ahead and tell you, from me, we are absolutely working on infrastructure on the property, making sure things are good and heading in the direction of where we want to go, and food storage and security. Those two things are really important and a priority. Food storage and security. So anyways, that's it. I appreciate you guys stopping by. Comment below. Any thoughts, suggestions, agree, disagree, love to hear it. Hit that like button. Consider subscribing if you haven't. So that's it. You guys take care. We'll see you in the next one.
So I ran from the cities and the noise and lies, found a piece of ground under open skies, hands in the dirt, sweat on my shirt, learning what living's really worth. While crooked men shake hands in rooms, selling souls to corporate suits. Society's sick, but I found the cure. A back road life, honest and pure. They can keep their throne and their golden news. This life out here's my modern exodus. I traded screens for a sunrise, callous palms, blisters, pride, planted seeds where hope was.